Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Broadcasting live from Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York.
You're listening to Man Up
With Eric Holzman and Matt Wieman.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Man Up. I'm Matt Wieman, and as always, I'm joined by my brilliant co-host, Eric Holzman.
What's up, Matt?
Nothing much. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to do the show a little differently, started off a little differently tonight. Eric and I are each going to pose one question to the audience.
Yes, we are.
And we're going to hope you guys call throughout the show and react to that question amongst the other topics. Just to set the show up, we're going to be talking about Justice League, the Knicks, Jets, Giants, recent benching of Eli Manning, and a few other things. And that's actually going to bring me to my question.
Okay.
First, for the audience to call in, do you think it was premature of the Giants to bench Eli Manning? Why now? If you agree with it, let us know why. If you disagree, let us know why. Drop that knowledge and then hang up the phone, basically. And Eric has a question of his own.
Yeah, this question is not sports related. It's a little bit more fun.
But very serious.
But very serious, and something, if anyone is follows me on Facebook, I posted this the other day, that somebody told me that they actually eat pizza with ketchup.
What?
Yes. So, my question to you is, pizza and ketchup, good thing, bad thing? Never tried it before. Give us a call. Let me know what you think.
945-5099, 516-945-9099. We will be looking for your calls. Looking forward to you guys reacting to those two questions and more. So, Thanksgiving, how was it for you?
Oh, Thanksgiving and
was it everything you dreamed it to be?
Thanksgiving was good, was great. I mean, my sister and her family, like I said last week, came over for breakfast. We had breakfast with them.
Chef Eric?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I cooked a lot of the breakfast, so that was
I like
good.
it.
And then I went to my other sister's house, who lives in Massapequa, actually, and she made the turkey and the ham and the potatoes and all the fixings, and it was great. I had a great time. It's always good when I don't have to cook.
Fair enough.
Because then I could enjoy
I think you're skating out on the breakfast.
Yeah, no.
It's easier to cook. You're trying to get, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, for me, if I'm picking between a giant dinner with turkeys and timing and all this, and thyme, the spice, right?
Yeah.
Turkey's timing and thyme. And breakfast, I'm going to pick breakfast because it's easier.
Right.
So you took the easy way out. But you benefited from it.
Yes. I mean, I like to cook anyway, and I've done Thanksgiving before, so it's not a big deal for me. I enjoy doing it. But again, it's always better when you don't have to cook, because then you don't have to stress and you're not making sure everything's
Of course.
on or whatever. So what about you? Did you?
Yeah. I went to my girlfriend's sister's house, and we had about 20 people. The parents met. Actually, the moms had met already. The dads had kind of met, but this was like a hard meeting. So we had a few beers, sat in front of the TV, watched football, and they deep fried a turkey, the first one I've ever had.
Did you like it?
I did, but they also had another turkey, and they brined it, and that
With
was
what?
like.
Do you know?
It was, honestly, I'm going to call it the concoction of love, because, and that sounds horrible, actually, now that I think about it. But basically, it was like the best turkey that I had ever had. I'm going to be honest. And I thought the deep fried would, and it was very good, but it didn't steal the show. The other one did for me.
When I did, I don't know if I think I mentioned this last week, but when I did I made turkey in a trash can one year.
What?
Yeah. Don't worry,
Okay.
But
Interesting.
I actually I made this incredible brine.
Okay.
And the turkey was fabulous. Like,
it's probably the best way to make turkey. I mean, honestly, now that I've had it, I'm like all about it, right?
yeah, if you don't brine, just a tip for everyone out there for Thanksgiving: if you don't brine, then get away from me. I don't want to talk to you. I need a brine. I need a brine for my turkey now. That's the game. The game has been raised. You know, the bar has been raised. Brining of the turkey has to happen.
I think next year it's going to be heavily recommended. And to be honest, it wasn't a upfront competition between my girlfriend's sister and her husband, but they both separately made the turkeys, and she sort of won. But next year he's not going to make the same mistake because he actually brined it, and she got all the credit, right? But she cooked a great meal, and honestly, I wouldn't have changed anything. And just so I can give you a little. I did win our picks last week, 2 out of 3 on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, whatever.
You did get the Patriots game, which wasn't on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But the spread was large. That's why we picked it.
Yes.
So in that respect, in your face, with all due respect, and
It's all right.
Booyah.
It's all right.
Also.
Like I said, I was right about something else. We'll get to it later.
Fair enough. So aside from that, I mean, the football aspect of Thanksgiving is always great, the bonding of it. But in my mind, once football was done, once Thursday was done, went right to the movie that I was going to see on Friday,
Right.
which was Justice League, which you had already seen
I had already seen it twice.
2 times.
But did Black Friday shopping get in at all?
A little bit. I'm a Cyber Monday guy.
You and the girlfriend's like, let's go shopping for certain things.
I had to work. I did work.
That's right. You told me that.
I worked from home.
Told me that.
Which, if you ever seen the Lewis Black skit, you kind of know what that's about.
Not a fan of his, but continue.
You should look it up. But anyway, so basically, I worked from home and I did some shopping. Got her a few gifts. And some of the flair has been taken out of Christmas for me for buying a gift for a significant other, because you're always telling each other certain gifts, but then there's that one or two gifts you really want,
right?
And you're like, this specifically,
Very
this,
true.
and girls are always like, this color, this thing. So it's basically like, okay, half the gifts I'm getting for you,
You already know.
you know,
Yeah.
and you'll be happy. So whatever I get and whatever I screw up on,
That's
hopefully
true.
not, you're gonna be happy with.
That's
So
true.
I think I did well this year. We'll see. We'll report at a later date.
Right, after Christmas.
But what about you? Did you buy anything Black Friday, taking advantage of
I
any deals?
did not do any Black Friday shopping. No Black Friday shopping, no Cyber Monday shopping. I did none of the shopping.
I have a little bit of a problem when I get on the Cyber Monday shopping sprees, because I'll buy a lot of things for myself.
Yeah, so
I'm like, oh, I really want that. Oh,
that's
wow.
not the spirit of Christmas.
No, but I mean, listen, I try to match what I get to what I'm spending for others, so I think it equals out, right?
Hey, whatever you need to do to justify it to yourself is fine. But you should not be buying yourself presents at Christmas time.
Yeah, whatever.
Unless you need like underwear or something like that that's important.
God forbid, I need underwear. I have enough pairs. It's almost
Okay,
like.
didn't need
Let's not get into that.
Yeah,
but
didn't need a full.
I got a few good deals, and like I said, the thing I was looking forward to and looking past work on Friday, I think it took a little of the luster out of Black
Right.
Friday specifically, but the luster of it is because I was looking forward to going to see Justice League.
Yes.
And I know you saw it twice, and you really wanted to get into it last week, but
Yes, we ran out of
we
time.
were also respectful. You weren't going to really do a deep dive. So
No,
I
I
think-
wasn't.
So I think this is better because you can actually, say what
Yes.
you like, say what you didn't.
Really quickly, there will be some spoiler stuff in
No,
this.
this is not some spoilers. This is the entire movie. We're talking
So-
about it now.
So yes.
945-5099 if you want to comment.
Yes.
What did you think?
Well, I liked it. I said it. I kind of hinted last week that I liked the film. I understand the problems that people have with it. I'm very respectful to that. But for me, I've been waiting for this kind of a DC Comics movie since I was a kid.
Okay.
I grew up on the Super Friends TV show, the cartoon with the Wonder Twins and all that. So this is the first
The
time.
Wonder Twins.
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually gotten to see
They didn't
those
sneak into
heroes.
this.
No, I was a little upset about that. But no, I got to see all these characters on the screen at one time.
Okay.
And that was part of the fun for me.
Yeah,
I can
of
honestly
course.
say that was part of the fun. Maybe also that's a reason why I'm not as harsh on it, because it's something I've been waiting for and I wanted to see it. So, but I do understand the criticisms of the film. Really quickly, what's important for these films and what's important for all comic book movies is what they do in the box office.
Yes.
Because then that means they'll keep making them.
I mean, do you really? Yes. Well, obviously, the money, the dollar sign, the almighty
Yes.
dollar sign, that is what trumps all.
There's no better explanation for that than the Transformers series.
Yep.
When the movies have been terrible, but thanks to our Asian friends, because let's be honest, the Asian people drive the Transformer movies box office.
Fair enough.
Right. So in China and Japan and
They did huge.
yeah.
Michael
so,
Bay is a rock star.
Right.
Well,
And those movies, since they've got progressively worse from the first one to the last one.
Okay.
So it just goes to show you that if a movie makes money, people will go see it. And for Justice League, the domestic box office as of today, I checked before, was 171 million, give or take.
Okay.
All right, we'll call it 172. And the worldwide was 311 million.
Really? The worldwide's that high, huh?
No, sorry, the foreign was 311 million, and the worldwide was 83 million.
Well, yeah, either way, the foreign took over the
So, yeah.
domestic by almost double.
The
Almost.
surprising thing to me was the drop. They expected a bigger drop from week 1 to week 2, and
Yep.
it wasn't as big a drop as they thought. So maybe there's hope that this film has a little bit more legs than they originally thought, and that it will do better going forward. For all of you who saw the movie, that's what you hope.
Yeah.
Because there's talk in the studio land and there's talk behind the scenes that they're rebooting this entire thing.
Okay.
That they're not going to continue
I think
with
that's
the story. I agree. I think it's silly.
Premature.
But that's the hey.
It's the word of the day. Premature. I guess.
They haven't done well critically. That's really what it comes down to. And
who cares though?
but it matters. It
yeah,
does
but
matter.
who cares though? Like, there's first of all, there's such a thing called cult classics that generally are not high grossing films in the movie. And these are all comic book movies. Let's see what happens after a while here.
Well, they've made a lot of money. I mean, that's not to say that they haven't made money. They definitely have. I mean, people are going to go see these movies based on the fact that Batman and Superman are in it, and Wonder Woman alone. Like those three.
Yeah, those three are iconic people. Yeah.
Right. So they're going to go see it. Like fans like us who like this stuff are going to go regardless. It's the mainstream audience you got to pull from. It's that's where they make their money. They don't make it from us. They know we're gonna go.
My girlfriend thought it was good. She came with me.
That's good.
She did fall asleep for a half second again, but that was something different. We had a long night the night before. I liked it. I don't think they're going to reboot it.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I do know Ben Affleck will not be back. Right?
Probably.
He said that. Most likely.
More than likely, he won't be back.
But they did all like the new director, which was it Zack Snyder was the original, or he was the
what, for the Batman film?
No, for the Justice League. Wasn't there two
Well,
directors?
yeah, Zack Snyder was the guy in charge of it, in charge of the whole universe actually from the beginning.
Yep.
And then early this year, late last year, there were rumblings that he was losing a little bit of control in reaction to a lot of the films that came out and didn't do well. So he was losing control. And then
Joss Whedon came in, right?
Joss Whedon, who did the Avengers films,
Yep.
both of them, came in to finish the movie.
Yep.
And the reason they gave was that Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide, and he couldn't.
Never want to hear that.
I'm not 100% sold that that was the real reason why,
out.
but that's what they used, and I think that's kind of crappy. But hey, it's a studio.
It's a legitimate reason. So.
Yes, no, it was, but they also changed the music. You know, the composer. They went from Junkie XL to Danny Elfman, who did the iconic Batman score.
Danny Elfman. And that was actually dropped in there. I don't know if you heard it. The Superman theme was also in there.
Both of them are in the film.
Both undertones, not like blatantly obvious.
No.
So the events of it picked up right after Batman, Superman, right after Superman died.
Correct.
Spoiler. And that whole thing, right?
Yes.
So it literally picked up right away. A lot of not all the scenes that they hinted in the trailers were in it because they cut some of them.
They did. There are some scenes that are in the trailers that aren't in the film.
Yeah, but like where the Flash catches the Batarang or whatever it is, and all these different things, they were in it, right?
Yes.
I liked the way they set up the new characters. I thought they kind of got out of the whole trailer sequences in the first half hour of the movie, right? So we saw the Aquaman scene where they're in the room and he's looking for him and he's asking questions.
The man who could talk to fish.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's not even like a mystery. The dude's standing right there. He's like, that's me, like basically like.
Right, but did you notice what was weird about that scene? I noticed he had the eyes, like he had some contacts in that, and then the rest of the movie I don't see them.
I've seen them. No, he's in some of them, and I was like, you noticed that, and I was like, that's how you give it away, like already.
Right there, but I don't remember seeing them in the rest of the movie. Like, does he wear them again? Does his eyes look like that again? I can't.
It probably has to do with something. I'm assuming it's because of the light, the less light under the water.
Right, it could
kind
be.
of thing where it's like, okay, this is what
Does it
fish
happen
is.
when he comes out later in the film and throws the guy on the thing? And
I don't know.
Does he have it then?
But it's
I don't
being
remember.
super
See,
descriptive.
I saw it twice.
The thing, he throws the guy, and the thing happens.
I'm trying not to be too spoilery.
No,
So-
but listen, honestly, at this point, it's been about a week and a half. Tough noogies. If
2
you haven't
weeks,
seen
2.5
it,
weeks, yeah.
if you're really into it, you'll click off. I didn't like how they used the mother boxes. I thought it
didn't.
was a little too much. Mother box, for anyone that knows the DC universe, it's a creation from Darkseid's planet. It basically creates and destroys life, more creates.
Right, each one represents a certain.
Yeah, and they used it. The way they brought Superman back was a whole issue in itself because it varied from the comics, which I had a problem with. And also the other thing I was a little pissed off about, even though it's so minuscule, is there was no black suit, no black Superman suit.
That was teased though too. So
but that was the other director.
That was it's still his movie. Don't get me wrong. That movie is a Zack Snyder movie. The only parts that are Joss Whedon-ish are the funny parts.
Yeah, which actually were awesome.
Let's be honest. That's the part where he came in. I hate to use the term, but he marveled it up.
Yeah.
He did a lot of the quippy jokes.
He made it marvelous.
He did.
Oh,
Jesus.
I'm good.
Don't do that ever again, please. but but he yeah, like he did those parts, and again, it was good. It leveled out the movie, took away a lot of the seriousness. I think that helped in people who did like it was that it wasn't as serious as Batman vs Superman was, which was very dark and very serious and very, so I think that helped bring people in. It made it more family friendly too. I think.
Yeah,
less.
you could definitely
even
bring
though
kids.
they do curse.
Yeah, but
there
I mean,
are curses in the film.
Yes,
I'm just
there
saying,
are.
there's not. It's not like it's, but yeah, the story and Superman coming back, and I knew they weren't going to do what they did in the comics. That it would have been a giveaway. So they had to do something different. I didn't mind the mother box thing. It was fine. I understand. That's how Cyborg is made.
Yeah, yeah.
So it didn't bother me that they did that.
So you didn't mind them resurrecting Superman in a pool of water, essentially.
Well, no. It was
whatever.
It was in the ship.
I know what it was in the Kryptonian ship, and
Right.
that's how. And I get it all, right? But I feel like it's a little absurd with how. I guess they wanted to incorporate everyone
And the
on
Flash
the team.
helped him.
Exactly. And Aquaman submerged him. Like he went in and did his best baptism, right? He went under. That it was supposed to be symbolic for that. I don't know.
Cyborg.
Yeah. So they all played their own part.
So really quickly, what did you think of the new characters, like of Cyborg, Aquaman, the three that we haven't seen?
I like Teen Titans. I've watched Teen Titans.
Right.
So I'm familiar with Cyborg, and I've always liked it. Teen Titans is a little bit of a lighter show. Now, Teen Titans Go, or whatever.
Right.
But the original one was a little darker. You had Slade and all those types of characters in it, which we'll get back to him later.
You thought they were handled well in the movie?
I thought it was a little short, but they didn't want to make it too long-winded like Superman versus Batman, and that's why I think it went that route. Aquaman's getting his own movie. Cyborg sells himself because he looks really cool, and he kind of had a little mystery to him, and you didn't even really... You did see him get created, but you didn't really see it fully.
Well, not in this film. You saw it in Batman vs Superman.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did. You see the
But
whole
then why
thing,
don't you
how
show it?
happens.
Yeah.
Because you already saw it, so why would you?
I guess, but not everyone, right? Because they thought it was iffy. So maybe someone heard, hey, don't go see this film and whatever. But I actually think The Flash deserved a little more of an intro. It was kind of a little bit weak. We saw them meet already.
I liked how they handled the Flash.
Why?
Why? Because, well, the good thing they did do, people who watch the CW show, the story is told there. So those people who already who watched that show were like, cool, I know this backstory. This is good. Yeah. So they were in already. But no, I thought they handled it well. I thought Ezra Miller was great. I really thought he was, to me, of the new guys, he was the one that stood out. A lot of people like Jason Momoa. That's fine.
Yep.
I liked him too. I didn't think he was anything great. But,
No, it's kind of just like a short.
but he was good.
Yeah, comedy. Both of them are the comedy pieces, I feel like.
But Ezra Miller, to me, he's got that young, youthful
glint.
Yeah, and he was the comic relief in the movie.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was kind of the scene that they introduced him in. Like I mentioned earlier, with the Batarang at slow-mos, and he catches it, he looks at it, and he's like, oh my God. Like, since I'd seen that scene so many times, I was focused on the computers in the back. And I don't know if you saw this, but it has like all these different things about cold resistance and stuff like that. So it alluded to the fact that he'd already met one of his arch nemesis, Captain Cold.
Right.
Which was kind of cool because if, again, you watch the CW show, Leonard Snart, he's one of his biggest enemies. So that was kind of cool.
Who's on Legends of Tomorrow now.
Well, actually, he's dead on that show.
He's back.
Is he?
Yeah.
Did you just ruin He came back. He died a few times.
It's okay.
The purpose of the movie, I thought it was cool because it showed that the Flash wasn't... Because in Batman vs. Superman, all you saw was him take down a crook in a convenience store, right?
Yeah.
So now you actually are seeing him... I mean, here's the other thing. You also saw the video in Batman vs. Superman, but you really didn't get to see it, right? Too much of him save. I think there was another video at the end on the computer,
no, they show
right?
they show the clips of when, the small little vignette clips of when Wonder Woman's looking at each one and she clicks on it and sees who's who.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
For this purpose, I thought it was cool because the suit was there and it looked like it had been used and he'd been doing work. And I didn't.
Right. Well, that's kind of what Bruce says. He's like, he goes and analyzes the suit and calls out what it is, and he's kind of trying to tell. What did he say? Ice dancing. Competitive.
Yeah.
He's a competitive ice dancer. That's what he said. Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. But I just thought it was a little short, and they could have made it a little. I think they should have done something where not necessarily a fight, but a little resistance either with Aquaman or the Flash using their powers to evade Superman and Wonder Woman, and then maybe catching him and being like, hey, this is the deal. Sorry, we spooked you, kind of thing. That would have been cool, I think. But aside from that, no issues with that. Now, I did have an issue with the villain. I thought it was weak. I've told you this before.
Right.
Before the movie ever came out.
Yeah.
They mentioned Darkseid once. He said, I pledged this for Darkseid, this world. Because he was hoping they twisted Steppenwolf's whole storyline too, right? Because he was like basically shunned for millennia.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, this movie was supposed to originally be 2 parts.
Yeah.
So they had to change a lot of the original script
Yeah.
to fit just one movie. The second part was supposed to have Darkseid in it. I don't know if that's going to happen again. I don't know what's going to go on now. But
I think they're going away from it. The last trailer scene kind of
we'll see what happens.
set them up to go away from it for a little and then come back, because I don't think they want to compete and be repetitive with the Thanos storyline, which it was kind of getting there for a little bit, right? Because it's like the same bad guy.
Anytime you're
comparing.
right.
Yes,
be there,
but
so.
I don't think you get to the big bad right away. Like, you just don't do it. So they made a smart move in that. I don't like the CGI for the Executioner. I think it was way too much. They could have made him a real person.
And
with
that
makeup.
to me, that's one of the issues. That's one of the big issues I have with the movie is that this is a multi-billion-dollar studio.
Yep.
And this is a really respected franchise. Like the Batman is the most popular comic book character alive. Oh, sorry, around. He's not alive.
He's alive. He's out there somewhere.
So I mean, and Superman and Wonder Woman are right up there.
Yeah.
So you have 3 of the top 10, I'll say, or maybe even top 5, and you can't do better with CGI. Like you look at the Marvel films and you look at this one, and it was kind of disappointing and sad.
Yeah.
And that's why people. That's one of the reasons why I think people are upset with this film is because it should be better. Like it was good and I enjoyed it and it was fun, but it should be a better movie.
That battle was cool at Themyscira when they.
That part wasn't too
was
bad.
awesome.
Yeah, that part wasn't too bad. I like that part was okay.
You saw he was like a beast. I thought it was a little weak in Atlantis when he went for that mother box. Because basically the theme of the story is there's 3 mother boxes. When they combine together, it opens
the plot is really
portal to another kind of essentially it reforms the planet to be like Darkseid's planet, which is Apocalypse, and that was this guy, the Executioner, is going around and basically getting all the boxes.
Right.
That's it, Steppenwolf. Right. So that I thought was cool. The CGI definitely ruined it a little for me, but I looked past it and.
Yeah, I mean, but again, the problem is we're making concessions on a film and saying, oh, it wasn't too bad, because that's a problem. Because, like I said, you're this multi-billion-dollar studio. This movie should have been clean and neat and looked real. And there are parts of it that you're just like, that is terrible.
Yeah, for
sure.
Like
I love the shot of Wonder Woman standing on before she fights in the beginning when she's standing on the
scales of justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it looks completely fake.
Well, yeah, it definitely
it's
does.
terrible.
Well, you're not going to have her stand up on a step, but you could have her
I
stand
understand that, but you could make it look like it actually was standing somewhere on that.
Yeah. But I mean, listen.
I get they were trying, they explain it, they're trying to make it look like a living comic book, and I get that, and that's fine. But it's 2017. I can't accept that part of it. And I did look past it because I knew what I was getting into going in.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be great because the trailers
The second time.
Right. Yeah. Well, both times, yeah, but the second time I really knew what I was going to see.
Now, for all the problems I have with it, I did think the cast did very well. I think they work well together. They're all big, most of them are big budget stars.
Yes.
Especially Ben Affleck.
Yes. The one thing that Zack Snyder did right in all these movies is the cast. They were incredible. The chemistry they had on screen was great.
You're talking about recasting already, so what's up with that,
I'm
man?
not talking about recasting.
Yes, you are. You've said it to me a few times. Not to say it's starting with you, but you are
I
talking
said
about
rebooting. I did not say recasting. There's a
How do you
difference.
reboot with the same people?
Well, that's one of the issues I have with that whole thought process of rebooting. Because say you do, like Wonder Woman 2 is coming out. We know that.
Yes.
Aquaman's coming out, right? They know Batman and Superman. We've already seen them together. They know the Flash. They know Cyborg. So
this is what I don't get.
How do you explain to your fans that we're rebooting it, but we have the same actors playing the same two.
You can't reboot it. You just go a different direction and you let it go. And if it steers off the road, if you keep veering off into oncoming traffic, then that's it, and then you crash and done, right? But I think you're just starting to veer, and you kind of corrected yourself a little. And
Yeah,
the last two movies, listen, this one isn't doing great money-wise, but I didn't hate it. I like it a lot better than the Batman vs Superman, and I think you have something you can run with. I don't know. I mean, Ben Affleck, I think, should be out as Batman. He's kind of a little weak in my mind.
I don't think I love him in the role.
Really?
Yes, I think he's incredible in the role. I think it's the best role he's ever had in any film I've ever seen.
No.
Yes, I firmly
Apples,
believe that.
I like them apples. Come on now.
But he wasn't he didn't have a big role in that.
He had a
That
good
was
role,
Matt
man.
Damon's
I
movie.
liked it. I liked it.
I love that movie, but that was Matt Damon's movie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he
Like-
won an Oscar for it, didn't he?
Well, they won for
they
best
won.
screenplay. Robin Williams won for best supporting actor. for that
R.I.P.
movie. Yeah, rest
Mr.
in
Robin.
peace. That's true.
I think this is the one thing, right? If you're going to reboot again, which you shouldn't, it's absurd. You got to go with your bread and butter. You got to put Joker in a Batman movie again. The last two movies, they've been the best. Jack Nicholson,
Well, no, exactly.
Heath Ledger. Those movies, those two movies, great movies.
Clearly, the character of the Joker, if you get someone good to play him, can drive a film. I liked Jared Leto's Joker, so
I did too.
People who have problems with it, I think they just wanted to see the same kind of a
Which is absurd.
performance, and they couldn't do that. You had two iconic performances. There was no way you could do that again. So I liked his performance, and I want to see more of him in the role. I don't know if we're going to. Like that's the whole problem I have going forward is I don't know what to think anymore.
I want to see a drifter Joker. I know that sounds weird, but a Joker
there was
all he does
talk-
is laugh, and he's like a down low kind of like bum almost.
There was talk about them doing a separate Joker movie from this specific Joker.
You're right with
So-
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. So who knows? Like I'm all for all of it. I love the character. I love the character of the Joker himself. So if they can do something good, great.
You can do films outside the universe.
But that's the bottom line. I just
Yeah.
want good movies now. Like I hate having to explain to people why I like the DC movie.
Yeah.
You know, like you sit there and it shouldn't be something that I have to explain. I should just say, yeah, I saw that it was good, and people should be like, oh, okay. Like I don't want to have to say, well, I didn't like the CGI, but this part it was okay, and like I'm tired of that.
Do you guys feel the same? Did you see it? 945-5099. Give us a call.
Give us a call.
The cutscenes at the end.
Yes.
I know we feel differently about the last one. I thought it was really cool, though. Remind me again what the first one was, because I forgot.
The Superman Flash.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I like that, too.
That was awesome.
So if you guys don't know, in the comic books and as well as on the CW back in the day, Channel 11,
Yeah.
they did the Flash versus Superman. It was a famous comic book, and there's debate. Even in the movie, there's like a little joke about it. I
Right.
don't want to ruin that part because it's funny. About who's faster, and basically they have a race, and in the comics it's for charity or whatever it
Right.
is. And that was cool. It was a light scene. The second scene, it introduces us to a new character in this universe, right? This DC universe, in Slade Wilson, aka the Terminator, aka Deathstroke.
Yes, and at the end of the movie, the last end credit scene, there's one where you see someone approaching on a boat to a yacht. Well, first you see
Two swords.
no. First you see what you think is Lex Luthor in the jail, and he's not.
Oh
It's
yeah,
not.
that's an important part. Yep.
Right.
So he's escaped. Lex is out, which
Right.
is a common theme.
Then right, exactly. And then you see him on a boat, and then you see him. You don't see him sitting there. You see someone walking upstairs with the two swords and the.
If you
ribbon-
know,
the ribbon. Right.
then
if
you
you
know.
know anything about it, you know who that is.
Slade Wilson is.
Right. Who is Deathstroke?
Yep, and he's also I can't remember the actor's name, but he's on Green Arrow. He's a big bad guy / good guy on Arrow, the TV
Yes,
show.
he's
too.
all. Yes, Slade Wilson. The character's also. So people who watched Arrow also said, "Oh, who
Slade.
didn't know him before."
Yep.
Be like, "Oh, I know who that is," and it's a really good scene. I don't want to go into any more of it.
No, I'm gonna. Because we need to talk about it because we're in disagreement.
Okay.
So basically, Lex Luthor, you're seeing him not for the first time, but the first time in his digs, looking nice out of prison with a bald head, Jesse Eisenberg's character.
Yes.
And Joe Magliano, is that how you say his name?
Manganiello.
Manganiello. Whatever. That guy who had just butchered his name. He was from True Blood. He's
Yes.
married to Sofia Vergara.
Yes.
Ow, ow.
For ladies, he was in Magic Mike.
There you go, for the ladies. So he's playing Deathstroke, and I think it's an awesome choice because not only does he look like him when he's grayed out, and he's got the eye patch,
Yeah,
but he's imposing.
they did a great job on his look.
He looks exactly like him.
Great. I was like, wow, they really went. That was great. That part was great.
So at the end of this whole scene, he's basically like, "Why did you bring me here, Lex?" And he's like, "Well, these guys have their own league. Why don't we have a league of our own?"
Right.
And that alludes to the Legion of Doom
Right.
or the whatever. There's many names for it.
Right.
And you think it's complete BS. It's never happening.
It's never happening.
And I think that it is happening. And the reason it was put in was to get away from Darkseid being the next movie, a gap movie. So there'd be a year or two in between the next Justice League, or not the next, the third technically Justice League, because the second one would be against them. Now, and it is setting up for that in my mind.
No.
Also with Bruce Wayne going back to Wayne Manor, we've got to talk about that.
That was creating the Hall of Justice.
But that was Wayne Manor. I read it.
Well, yeah. That's
So
true.
they went back and they're gonna basically.
But see, again, the reason why I say I don't think it's ever going to happen is because I'm not sure we're ever going to have these characters on screen again together. I go back to what I was saying before. Because this movie is not doing well, it's not. There's no way to spin it. It's not doing well. Why would the studio double down on these characters?
I'll tell you
forward?
what. Bad guys draw box office.
That's true because Suicide Squad, even though got killed by critics, it made money.
And this movie had a terrible bad guy. No one's getting jacked up preliminarily or at the movie, by the way,
right,
for Steppenwolf.
Well, also because it's not someone people know.
Yeah.
He's not, unless you know the comic, you don't know.
It would have been cool if they did Steppenwolf and the other three horsemen and Mama, whatever her name is, right?
Right, yes.
So all of them.
Who he references the entire movie.
Exactly. So if it's not, and whatever his Darkseid son name was, I forgot the main guy. But either way, if four of them were in it, then it would have been cool. I sincerely believe that this, I don't know when it's coming out, but I think it's going to happen.
I hope it does
Legion of
because
Doom.
I want to see it.
Who do you want in that Legion of Doom?
I don't know.
Anyone. Bizarro, I definitely want, but I think they kind of took that route already
do
with Doomsday, right?
I don't think they can do Bizarro.
No?
No.
What about Brainiac?
No. Well, yes, he would be great.
And you could kind of spin it like the ship that's there already.
Right.
Lex Luthor was actually talking to.
Brainiac would be great. He's also the main villain in Injustice 2.
Yep.
So.
Okay. You play that video game?
Yes, I played.
Whoa, Eric.
I like that. That one was good.
Cool. But yeah, I'd love to see Brainiac come to the screen. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like Ultron, but it's a little different.
Let's be honest. It's very incestuous, the characters between
Metallo, all these different ones.
Between DC and Marvel. They're very similar. The villains are very similar in a lot of ways. It's always been the case.
So, to end it off, you like the movie. You don't think there's going to be another one as far as Justice League or something of that nature goes.
I hope they do. I hope they don't disband this universe that they started. I really don't. And it's not because they don't need to make movies where everything's intertwined and you don't need to make movies to keep it consistent with the universe.
No.
You can make solo films
and then just have them come together in some random way.
Exactly. And just have them come, like maybe the last solo film before you want to do the team up, you say, oh, there's like something happening. And
like Superman, if they were to create it, which I think they're going to make another Superman.
It was talked about. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll obviously see for all these.
Right.
But I mean, listen, and I didn't expect a ton. I liked it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. That's it.
Yeah, like it was. Honestly, it was fun.
Yep.
It's a fun 2 hours, and definitely, if you guys haven't seen it yet, go see it, please. I like comic book movies, and I want them to keep going. And this,
it won't stop. You're crazy to think Marvel will still be there.
No, I don't
Marvel's
think it'll
having
stop.
success.
But I want more of. I'm more of a DC guy, so I want more DC movies. And to be honest, outside of the Batman movies, most of the DC movies and Wonder Woman have not been
I like the first Superman. We don't have to get into it, but
I like Man of Steel too. No,
Yep.
it was good.
They also did kind of hint towards Green Lanterns being in the universe as well.
Yeah, there's a scene in Justice League when Wonder Woman was talking about the past, what happened in the past when Steppenwolf came down.
Yeah.
And he was trying to, conquer Earth then. And they had
by himself again.
Right, how the Atlanteans.
Yeah, you had Ares, you had Zeus, you had all these
everyone
different
fighting against him.
The old gods.
And you see a Green Lantern.
Yep.
You see one of the Green Lanterns.
And die, and then the ring sputters off.
Right. They do reference that.
And if you're a nerd like Eric and I, you'll recognize kind of Ares, Zeus, and all these different
Yes, you do
Old
notice.
Gods
Right,
comics.
right, you do.
Which they actually are talking about doing a movie like that with the Old Gods, which I don't think that's a good idea. That'd be too weird.
It's too Clash of the Titans for me.
Exactly.
But that's fine. I mean, whatever they do, they'll do.
I did get hyped because there was a Deadpool 2 trailer, and I'm all about that. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I'm very excited about that.
The Bob Ross thing.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
It was
that
great.
one. I don't want to ruin that because it's kind of funny.
Right. Yeah. You probably could see. I think it's
Pretty
online.
Little Trees. Pretty Little Trees.
Yeah. I mean, the trailer's online. You could go see it if you want.
So the New York Jets.
Yeah, weird segue. We're going from
I don't care about my
Deadpool-
segue. Usually I have a great segue, but honestly, the Jets last week, everyone watched. I told Eric he's going to bow down to me at the end of the season, that if the Jets won, he would bow down to me. They did cover the spread. They lost in horrible, horrible fashion, but it was not all their fault. All right? Austin Severian-Jenkins got screwed out of that catch. And I'm using screwed because the Dean Blandino, Mr. Dean Blandino,
Yes.
he called it a catch.
I know.
So did Mike Pereira.
I know.
Both of them.
I know.
And the guy comes back.
It was a catch.
The guy, all right, I'm using my phone as a football. The guy goes like this. He catches it from here, brings it to here, controlled to here, not bobbling, to his chest, lays on his chest. It moves like this, never moves on the ground.
No.
And they said it wasn't a catch.
He never doesn't have control of the ball.
They overturned it. That's what was crazy to me.
Right. It was called a touchdown. Right.
And Austin Severian-Jenkins, Mr. Choke Job, in the beginning, dropped his own wide open touchdown.
Oh, my God.
So that's 14 points on the board that are just gone. 7 for him, 7 for the ref. I can't not blame him because the first part of that was just horrible. And, of course, as always, I had him on my fantasy team, and I'm really pissed about that. And
it always comes back to fantasy.
Yeah, it always does.
Always.
My picks this week,
Yeah, Matt did well.
Bryant, DeMarco
right.
Murray, Andy Dalton. Listen to me.
Get back to the Jets.
I'm trying to avoid them. Robbie Anderson was a bright spot, maybe the one. And then at the end, he does a great game, and they lost. He's like, vote for me for the Pro Bowl. What a bonehead, dude.
Yeah, but I kind of like. I mean,
I don't mind it, but everyone's killing him for it, and I think he's kind of a bonehead. You don't petition.
But
Same
you know what it
baseball.
is? He's a young kid, and he's having a really good season, and he's probably excited, and I don't blame him. I would be like, yo, we suck, but vote for me.
Fair enough. He's like, but I'm killing. I got 2 TDs.
You know,
but that's the problem. It's a
has
me
7
first
touchdowns.
mentality in his head. Who cares? You just lost the game. You don't petition for the Pro Bowl. I'm sorry.
Right, no, I agree. The timing was bad. I agree. The timing was bad.
But with young players, that's the biggest issue. Is
The timing was
the
bad.
timing usually, and like I feel like it just took another piece out of my soul. The Jets once again. We talked about the butt fumble last week. This week, this thing happens. I can't believe it. I'm getting loud here because I'm freaking pissed. We are going to win another game. You're going to be dead wrong about that. But I definitely owe you an apology. But I never undoubtedly came out and said they were going to win. I said I believed they could win, and they did put themselves in position to win. And
You know what? None of that matters.
It does matter.
No, none of it matters.
Yeah, it does.
All that matters is who was on top at the end of the game.
What I actually liked, though, is when Cam Newton went to do his first touchdown celebration and do the Superman.
Jamal Adams, yeah.
Jamal Adams came over and pulled his hands down.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, you don't do that, basically. Which
Yeah, I mean-
I love that.
No, well, of course. Don't get me wrong. The Jets aren't talented enough for me. That's my problem. And as long as Josh McCown's a quarterback, you're not winning anything. I'm sorry.
I don't think it was his fault. Okay.
It's not about fault. He's just limited. So he can't. There's things you can't do with him. Let's
Yeah,
put
but
it
it's
that
not
way.
all his fault at this
Matt,
point.
I'm not saying it's anybody's fault.
Okay.
I'm saying you're limited in what you can do because he's not that good.
I agree. I mean, he's been
He's
7
been very
teams,
good,
like-
but he's been better than I thought he'd be this year. I'll give him that. I thought it was going to be a complete disaster.
Not everyone's like Julius Peppers. They were
And-
drafted the same year.
That's true, man. Julius Peppers, holy crap, this man.
I can't even believe it. He's the timeless wonder.
But they're just like so. When I look at the team now, like they exceeded expectations, but eventually everything catches up.
Yes.
And that's what's happening now.
You lose the close the games, like you really do.
Well, if they had won a couple of those, maybe they have a different pep in their step and they're
They're
moving.
still mathematically
Stop.
in the wild.
Stop.
Why? They're still there.
What's their record?
They are 4-7, 4-8, 4-8.
Right.
The Bills, who are in the wild card,
right,
are 6-7, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, 5-7. There you go.
I think they're better than that.
Am I? Am I wrong?
John Dolberg, if you're watching, message me and tell me what their record is.
And by the way, Kelvin Benjamin tore his meniscus. He's out for the season. What a bust in that respect. And listen, Funchess looks great, so good for him, right? But the Jets overall, they disappointed me. I still think that well, first of all, they covered the spread, like I said. So in that respect, I won that. I have to give myself a little bit. I didn't say that. I did not say that.
It was not a spread. We weren't talking about the spread with them. We were talking. I said they weren't going to win. You said they were.
And I say still, well, the
They
bowing down bet is for the season.
They lost.
I understand that, but the bowing, I still expect you when they win another game, which they will.
Nope.
You will be getting up and bowing down. And if they don't, I will be doing the same to you. Okay?
I think we need to bet a bottle or something on that.
Now, who do you think is in worse shape right now? The Jets or the Giants with their latest debauchery they pulled today? Which, if you don't know, actually, it's not debauchery, right? I don't think it is. They benched Eli today because they're mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, and Geno's going to start. But why Geno over Davis Webb, first of all? And second of all, why now?
Well, that's been my thought process for a while. I mean, when did they beat Denver? What week was that?
About 4 or 5 weeks ago.
How many games were they? So that's the point. I mean, they weren't
winning anyway.
Right,
so.
they weren't winning. So you're going to make this move now, number one. I mean, it's being told to us that, Eli's fine with it. And let's be honest, no player's ever fine about losing their job. He lost his job. And this guy has won 2 Super Bowls for this team, and now he's benched for a guy who the Jets gave up on.
Geno Smith.
I mean,
Geno
I have
Smith,
defended Geno
in
the past, and I was someone who I liked him in college, so I wanted to see him succeed. It just didn't work out for him.
We had a caller a few weeks ago, call him out. I called him out. I think it's time for him to hit the old dusty trail. He's taking it like a man. He's a smart guy, and he knows that you shouldn't berate your teammates. Who knows? Geno, I mean, first of all, this sounds crazy to say, but I honestly think they might have a better chance of winning with Geno with the offensive line situation they have right now.
Well, he's more mobile.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so he could roll out and make plays. I don't think he's necessarily going.
But isn't Webb a mobile quarterback too?
Nah, I mean he's 6'5". He's not really that.
I mean, he's not Dante Culpepper. I'm not saying that.
No. But he does. I personally think you put in Webb and you see what he's got, because who knows if you really need to draft a quarterback. What if he comes in and does halfway decent and
maybe he's not ready.
Yeah, but he's not ready. But Geno Smith was never ready, and he's still going out.
I mean, all of this was obviously in response to that crap fest that was on Thanksgiving night. That was a tough game to watch.
What game isn't a tough game to watch for them? Seriously, what game is it?
Really tough game to watch.
I think that I really feel like the Giants, they can really turn it around, and I think they might screw themselves by putting Geno in. I really do, because they can, like I said, they can roll out, they can do the play a little more play action boots, things to open up not only their receivers but their running game, make the line move a little, not be head up and getting blown off the ball like Eric Flowers, straight up.
Yeah.
So rolling, it will help out, right? But I don't understand why you don't put Davis Webb in. The top 5 pick could go to a left tackle. You don't.
I'm
not even a Giants fan. I hate the Giants.
It's an excellent point. It's an excellent point.
I understand why now.
You know what Geno Smith is, and he's not going to show you anything different.
So I think he lasts a quarter or a half. And they might treat this like preseason, where each of them play a half.
It's possible.
I don't think it's going to hurt them to try it now if they're trying to win some games.
No.
But I don't know why you would try that. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
So, I mean, I feel bad for Eli in a sense, but I think it was time. I mean, his stats he's the 77th. I'm sorry. Their left tackle's the 77th ranked out of 77 or something like that, my friend Mike said.
Yeah.
And Eli Manning's got to be in the bottom 5 of the league in terms of passing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's when you're getting up there in age, you kind of need a nice pocket to throw in. And he doesn't have that right now.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any talent because all his receivers are hurt.
Yep.
Not
all of them.
It's hard.
Evan Ingram.
Yeah, but he's having problems with catching
Dropsy,
the ball.
McGee.
Yes. So, I mean, he's not getting much help. The team is bad. It really is weird to me that they're doing this now.
Like I said, mathematically eliminated, I think. Oh, we actually have a phone call coming in. Oh, we actually, we just lost it, I
Apparently
think.
they lost.
We left it. No big deal. So anyway, we have someone trying to call in. I'm sorry if you're not getting through. Something's going on with the phone lines here. So we're just going to keep rolling here.
Keep trying, though.
There was a bright spot for the Giants. The defense. It actually looked like they played pretty well. I mean,
they've been playing better the past.
It wasn't
few
like
weeks.
it was like a god tier defense, but but it's still way better than what we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, they played well. They scored a touchdown. The defense scored their only touchdown. So, if your offense isn't scoring and your defense doesn't,
Someone's got it.
I guess that's a win. I guess that's a win for you.
But I mean, look, the stat line Eli had was 13-27, 113 yards, an interception, and he was sacked 4 times. So you had to make the change. Again, I don't know who's in worse shape, the Jets or the Giants. I think they both are potentially fighting for a quarterback in this draft. The Giants, I think there's no doubt, if they don't play Webb.
That's why the Jets are going to lose every game the rest of the year.
Yeah, okay. Okay, we have a call coming in.
We have a caller coming in. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is CJ, and I'm calling from Albany.
What's up, CJ? I know who this is.
Guys?
How you doing, man?
What's going on, man?
Share your pain. I know what you're calling about.
My pain is that I don't know what direction my football team is going in.
The Jets.
We made some moves in the offseason. We got rid of some people that I thought, we probably should have held on to for, development of younger players. And I was okay with, probably having a down year or so, but we started playing some good football, and then we started slacking off.
It's just like
doesn't
the Jets,
really
right?
seem
They suck you in. Just like they
Yeah.
suck you in all the time. I know what you're saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
there doesn't seem to be a general direction that the organization is going in. I personally don't see Todd Bowles having a job after the season.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely not. I don't see him having a job after this season. Are you going to give him another season with a 39-year-old Josh McCown, behind center, or are you going to give him another season with a rookie quarterback?
Do you think McCagnon lasts or goes with him?
Josh McCown?
No, Mike McCagnon. Do you think Bowles and him go out together, or they maybe try to, do something in the draft and get a new coach? I know you don't want Bowles. So.
If you're gonna start a new regime, if you're gonna get rid of the head coach, you might as well get rid of him.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Do you feel that way?
Well, especially the way that the Jets seem to be set up, it doesn't seem that the GM and the coach, like the GM is here and the coach is here. It seems like they're on the same level anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well.
Who do you have someone in mind for the coach? Like, do you have anyone out there that you're like, I really want this guy, especially if you get a quarterback?
It's going to sound really taboo because this guy he's probably the number one option of anybody who's looking for a coach. But I would at least do due diligence and pick up the phone and give Jay Gruden a call.
John Gruden, yeah. No, I agree.
John Gruden, excuse me.
Yeah.
With the circus that New York is, probably doesn't want to do it, and he seems to be okay with broadcasting. But, I would at least check with the guy.
Well, it's weird that you say that because I forget what he was watching, or I was watching something where they said John Gruden went to some coach's thing and he saw a play that he had never seen before, and he was like, I'm going to write that down, and they were like, well, why? He's like, because you never know. I might need to use it someday. So I don't know if the coaching book is completely gone, but I agree. I've always been a fan of John Gruden, so I think that'd be a great choice.
Do you think it was a catch on Sunday?
Say that again?
Do you think the Austin Safarian's play was a catch on Sunday?
As a Jets fan, I'm gonna say yeah.
CJ, you're going against all of us, man. Come on.
Here's the thing.
Was there enough to overturn it? That's the question.
Personally, I didn't think there was enough to overturn.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So I wanted to ask you guys. I think one of the biggest things that the Jets are missing, and this is kind of both on offense and defense, they don't have an X factor.
I agree. So
true.
much.
When you're game planning for the Jets, who are you circling saying we need to keep eyes on this guy at all times?
Well, they have guys they pay to be.
Well, now
yeah.
Robbie Anderson is kind of becoming that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But he's not consistent enough. But I agree with you. They need a dynamic playmaker, whether it be Saquon Barkley at running back or a receiver, Stills, I think his name's Sills, sorry, out of West Virginia. Someone like that in the top 10. I've said for years, I know receivers don't win championships, right? But in this league, you need a dynamic receiver. And if you get a guy like Julio Jones or, ODB, which I know the Jets wanted too.
AJ Green.
Look at Julio and Antonio Brown this past week. They killed it. They can change the game. So I agree with you, man. I agree.
All right, so last question, I'll let you guys go.
Okay. Go ahead, man.
You mentioned, possibly a guy like a Saquon Barkley or something. What if you're the Jets? As of right now, you're projected to draft around 6th or so. San Fran already has their quarterback. Hopefully,
One or
what
two
would
passes.
you do?
Garoppolo.
What would you do on what does your war board look like on drafting?
You want to go first?
Well, for me, it starts with Josh Rosen.
Okay.
And then, I don't know. He's the guy I'm focusing on. He's my favorite player in the draft, period. So,
There's two factors here, I feel like, right? Because if it's an offensive coach.
No, because you need a quarterback whether you're an offensive coach or a defensive
Fair enough.
coach.
You think Bowles will draft? I'm saying you think Bowles will draft an offensive player?
I think we need to. We draft defensive players all the time in the first round.
Yep.
It's time we draft an offensive player.
Go ahead, CJ.
Here's what scares me about Sam Darnold and Josh Rosen, which is ultimately what scared about me. What scared me with Mark Sanchez was the fact that these are West Coast guys who haven't had to deal with playing in snow or playing in really, really cold temperatures, and I'm nervous about how these guys would adapt to now playing on the East Coast. No,
I agree, dude. That's a great
England,
point.
Buffalo,
It's fair. It's definitely a fair point. I do think with someone like Rosen, at least I know he's got a real attitude about him, so I think he would work well here. I do like Baker Mayfield as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I don't mind him.
I don't know if he's a pro quarterback. That's the only problem.
I think
he's a system guy, but we'll see.
He reminds me a lot of Drew Brees, not attitude-wise, but the way that he plays the game.
Thanks for calling in, man.
Thanks for
Thanks
calling.
for having me, guys.
Appreciate it, man.
Show.
Call anytime. I love the way he plays. I think the Jets will not. I don't think the Jets will go offense unless they have an offensive coach. Bottom line.
They're taking a quarterback.
I would hope they do, but I think you go with the running back if you're Todd Bowles. I think you go with Saquon Barkley.
No.
If you're at 6, then you could probably get Josh Allen.
I'm still diametrically opposed to taking a running back in the first round.
Let me name you.
I like
Todd
Fournette.
Gurley.
I like they're great.
They're
I
all
like
great,
them.
though.
But Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook, you can go down the list too and find them later rounds.
Torn
as well.
ACL, dropping off. No, I'm just joking. Well, listen, Dalvin Cook was second round,
Gurley
but he
had
was
like
literally
no knee when they drafted him.
Yeah, but look at how great he is.
Matt, I get it. I agree.
I want you to.
I agree with you that they're good players and they're worthy of their draft spot. Ezekiel Elliott too. Guys who are picked high and have panned out. I just think you can find running backs in the later rounds. You can find quarterbacks in later rounds too, obviously. I mean,
I can't
Tom
wait till the
Brady
draft show.
and-
I eat this up. I'm like the Mel. I'm like a Mel Kiper.
Me too. I love
the combine. I love all that. We'll probably do an extended
I love
show.
both NFL and NBA draft. Those are my two favorite drafts.
So, yeah, I mean, listen, the Jets and the Giants, they'll probably both finish in the top 10. We'll all be happy on draft day, or we'll all be booing like the Jets fans typically do. We're getting to the end of the show here, and I want you guys to know that we have a great bunch of guys that come on after us.
Yes.
Laughter Saves Lives with John LaRocchia. He's the host.
And crew.
Crew, they're actually here in backstage. We know they're here. They'll be coming on in about 5-10 minutes. We appreciate their support as well as you guys. And as always, with our show, we love the interaction. CJ, thanks for calling from Albany, especially talking some Jets, sharing some misery. And we're here every Tuesday night, 7 to 8. We love you calling in. And again, every week we will be posting our value fantasy picks on Sunday morning.
Yes, obviously we'll do the fantasy picks. I'm gonna try and get more interactive polls set up as well.
Yep.
Throw little polls out there, questions during the week.
About like the ketchup pizza, which
Right.
which we didn't touch on that, but that's blasphemy to me.
Especially in this area.
I'd have an Elio's pizza rather than put freaking ketchup on any pizza that's worth anything here. It's insane.
Yeah.
So, guys, I think that what we're looking for the shows coming up as we get out of football season is you guys to actually suggest topics to us.
Yeah,
Things
definitely.
That you would want to talk about. I mean, Eric and I can sit up here and gab for an hour, right?
Longer, probably.
Longer.
We probably could if we,
Yeah,
wanted to.
if you really want us to, please let us know. But probably no one wants to. But yeah, I mean, suggestions on Man Up, our page on Facebook, Twitter, and Eric actually has recently set up our YouTube page for us as well.
Yes, I'll have copies of the shows up there soon. Hopefully we get them posted up so you guys can go there and watch them. It's just if you go to YouTube and just put Man Up Show, I think that's the keyword. You'll find it.
You better know.
And, I'll clear that up.
We're going to get someone else some,
and I'll post it on. I'll definitely post it on the Facebook page. I'm also going to be changing the Facebook page from a group page to more of an official page.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, I'm bringing that on Matt now because I wanted to talk to him about it, but I figured I'd say it here. Yeah, it's more of a business-like page. We'll get that up running
for sure.
soon.
So guys, thanks for joining us on Man Up. We're here 7 to 8 every Tuesday, and again, catch the guys on Laughter Slaves Lives right after us.
Have a good week, guys. See you
Thanks for
next
tuning
week.
in.